There will be a short delay of flight.
Welcome to another edition of Coffee and Beats. I am your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent, back with another episode, and I got another review in store for you guys. But before I get into this review, I just want to remind you kindly, hit the like, hit the share, hit the follow button, subscribe button, wherever you're watching this podcast. Go ahead, hit all those buttons down low. Go in the description box, hit those links, hit the follow after you do that. I know it's a lot of instructions, but it only takes no less than maybe a minute to do all of those things. So you do all of that, you'll get notifications every time I drop a new video. All right, just as simple. Now, before I get into this album, I got my coffee ready for this nice review. I know people been asking, Roddy, where's the coffee been? Have you been sipping while you're doing these reviews? Well, here it is. I got my coffee. I got my album ready to be reviewed, and I'm ready to go. So let's get right into it. And I'm going to be reviewing the new album by none other than one of my personal favorite artists, Yukimi, and she is formerly from Little Dragon. She represents 1/4 of Little Dragon, and she didn't mention a breakup. Basically, she's just stepping to the side and doing more of a personal project for her. She just gave birth to a newborn son, and so it's been a lot going on in Yukimi's life ever since the last release of Little Dragon project. And this one, she takes a different lane. Little Dragon, one thing I always appreciated about the band was how much they didn't just stay in one lane. You never knew what they were going to drop as far as genre wise. You never know where they're gonna go. One album is funk, the next album is R&B, next album is a more of electronic lane. And so you never know what you're going to get with Little Dragon. And that's what I appreciated about that group. And here we are with Yukimi with her solo project. And if you've been rocking with Little Dragon for a long time, then you already know Yukimi's voice is something special. It's soft, it's soulful, and it's full of feeling. Her new solo album, which is called For You, entitled For You, hits a little different. And it feels like a late night conversation with a friend who really wants you to feel seen. And here's what stood out to me about some of the tracks here. Starting off with Make Me Whole, which is the second track off the album. This one hit me right in the chest. I had to just take a cause to pause and just reflect on the production that she's bringing. Yukimi's delivery is so raw, it's so intimate. And you can hear the longing, the vulnerability in her voice. It's just real bedroom R&B vibes with this track. And I love the way she started off the album with that. And then she goes into Break Me Down, which was the first single off the project. She actually took to YouTube Live to make an announcement about her stepping aside from Little Dragon and dropping a new solo project. And she featured the video for the new song Break Me Down, and it was a really good video. Now here's the thing, one thing about this track, it's gonna fool you in the beginning because it starts off with these intense drums and you're thinking this is sounding like something Little Dragon would make, but no, she slows it down, and it's one of my favorite songs off the album. It's gentle, but it's strong at the same time. And the collaboration with Leon LaHavis, I think she had some writing credits on this particular track, but I think it was a perfect combination if that was the case. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Leon LaHavis also joins Yukimi on the song Streams of Consciousness, or Stream of Consciousness. And it's smooth, it's reflective, it's full of texture, and the way their voice blends is just chef's kiss. We have two artists who just put nothing short of great music out there for the last couple of decades, and to see this combination is definitely was a treat. And then we have the song Jackson, which is dedicated to her son. It's a heartfelt tribute to her son, and Yukimi's voice is so nurturing here. And then we have Pasta News from De La Soul, who brings in the verses that make you feel like it's a letter from your wise uncle. They've collaborated with Yukimi. They've done projects together. They've done songs together. I know De La had dropped their comeback album back in 2016. They did a song together. So you see here, there's comfort level all over that track. And then some of the B-sides. You got Sad Makeup, which the title track, it caught my attention. I was like, where is she gonna go with this particular song? And the vibe matched. Melodies match. It was reflective. It was layered very well, layered with emotion. And Yukimi sounds like she's working through some very heavy things here. And again, vulnerability is the topic of discussion. Basically throughout this project, you just get a more vulnerable Yukimi instead of back when she was with Little Dragon. You had all of these upbeat albums. You saw her dancing. She always had those crazy dances that she would do during live performances that made the group so popular. And so here you get more of a pull back, vulnerable type of Yukimi here. And then you got Peace Rain, has a very peaceful, meditative energy. The production is simple but effective, and it gives Yukimi space to breathe. And then you have Feels Good to Cry, which at the end, a lot of people feel like with the last song on the track, you have to stick the landing with this intense, grandiose exit, right? Production is explosive. She just keeps it simple. She gives you a nice little soul ballad, and here she just really gives you complete honesty. It's very soulful, and sometimes it really does feel good to cry, and that was basically the lesson that she was trying to teach here with this particular track. Yukimi captures that release so perfectly as she wraps up the album. Now there maybe, if I had to nitpick, there is a low light here. Rules of School. I didn't quite stick the landing for me. The concept is cool. It's kind of playful and experimental, but it just didn't have the same emotional depth that a lot of the other songs focused on this particular record. At the end of the day, For You is a grown, vulnerable, again, that word again, vulnerable, and soul-soaked listen. Yukimi isn't trying to impress anybody here. She's just being real. You're seeing a more stripped down version of her personality here, and it's a very refreshing album, very personal record, and it's perfect for reflective moods, night drives, or just vibing out with a warm cup of coffee here. And again, this album goes perfect with a cup of coffee. So I give this one, at the end of the day, out of 5 mugs, I give this one 4.5 mugs out of 5. I highly recommend this album for all of the fans. If you're a fan of Little Dragon, if you're a fan of soul music, honest perspective of life, this is the album for you. You don't want to miss it. Yukimi, you knocked this one out the park. I thought this was an excellent solo effort from you, and if you're listening, keep them coming. I think she's coming to my city in Chicago. Unfortunately, I won't be able to catch her while she's here, but I'm sure she's going to be putting on an excellent performance. But again, Yukimi knocked it out the park with this one, and appreciate the great work that you've been putting forth, not only with this solo project, but just the years and years of great music that you've been able to put together with Little Dragon. And that will do it for this edition of Coffee and Beats. I am your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. And again, when it comes to coffee, when it comes to music, stay grounded for life. I'll see you guys on the next episode, next review coming up real soon. So just stay tuned for that. And again, I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.